Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. Hope you haven't been blown away, but we're here going to be plugging away. Got a great show lined up, but first, let's do our weather, brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. It's going to be blowing today, okay? I hope most of the bad stuff is to our east, but just be careful. You get on the roads and all, it's going to have rain all over them. It's going to be blowing. Watch out for debris, and the course. We talked about it before, so just be well aware of what you're doing this morning. Of course, no schools in session, so keep the kids inside the house till all this bad weather gets on out of here. Low would be a 78. Water temperature again is 87, so that's why everything heated up like that. That's why this storm really increased more than they really had anticipated because that water was so warm. So at first it was going to be just a little depression, but you saw how it sort of bounced up really fast. So that's good track warning as far as us getting to be prepared for a storm because they can change overnight. Now let's go ahead and do our river readings right now before the storm comes through. They're reading Apalachicola at Bluntstown is at a 1.7 and the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is at a 3.2. But we will have some changes coming up as soon as this weather gets out of here. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Low tides today, strong tides coming, a strong wind coming out of the north is just blowing that tide out of here. You're not going to have much tidal flow. Tomorrow is a neap tide, so you're really going to see some bank fishing, some real shallow bay system that when that north wind is blowing everything out of here. On the east end though, it's going to be flood water. So just wherever you are will be dictated by what this storm is doing. And let's see, marine forecast, I wrote down BLOW, blowing. None of y'all are going to get out this weekend, I'm sure. Let's go and do our fishing game times for today. Since this is Friday, we'll do our fishing report at the end of the show, brought to us by Barron's Barbecue Shrimp Marinade. 122 to 322 this morning. I don't think many of y'all were out, but this afternoon, 144 to 344. Just don't go today, okay? Just don't go outdoors today. Maybe this weekend it's going to get a lot better. I know it's going to get better when it gets on out of here. We're going to take our break and be back with a very special guest. Okay, welcome back, and I want to welcome our special guest, Whitley Dylan. Good morning, Whitley.
Hi, good morning.
Good to see you. Now, when she first came this morning, I hugged her and all, but we're with the microphones. We're not going to do it on it. But glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me come here.
Listen, Whitley's she's just an outdoor girl. She went to Mosul a while back, and she's on my Facebook over the past couple of years. She's been posting all kind of pictures. Every time I see a picture, I smile because this girl is doing some outdoor stuff. So I want you to tell the folks about a little bit about your background, how you started in outdoors, and then about some of the things you do. But how'd you get started in outdoors?
Well, growing up, like me and my dad, we always went fishing, and so that kind of started introducing me to it. But nobody in my family ever hunted, and so it was just kind of like this. I never knew anything about it. Mm-hmm. And whenever I came back from college, I started meeting a whole bunch more outdoors people, and they started telling me about their hunting trips. And actually, I got invited on a duck hunting trip, and that was my very first hunting experience. And I just remember I was out there, and if you've never been duck hunting, it's a very fun experience. It's very different. Very, very different from anything else.
So you really got to enjoy it then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's just kind of what started it.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And she just sort of jumped on it, and she's just been going with it. Now, you went to school at Mosley, then you went ran track. When I was track coach, she's a good track girl. We had a good group of girls running then. And hurdles was your forte.
Yep, the hurdles.
She could get over those hurdles, okay? You still jumping?
No, not anymore.
Well, maybe the logs in the woods trying to get over when you go hunting. That was good training, but okay. So you went to, where'd you go to college?
I went to USF and I studied biology down there. I graduated in 2013. I ended up moving back to Panama City, and I work over at CACI over on 77, so I work full-time there, and I'm actually getting my master's right now over in occupational safety and health, and so that's been really, really busy.
Tell us how you got this job. It's fascinating.
Well, actually, for a while I was thinking about joining the military. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I wanted to travel. I knew that much. And I was actually in Winn-Dixie, and I was over at the meat department, and I ran into this lady over there, and me and her just started talking, and I was telling her how I wanted to travel, And she was like, oh, well, actually, like, we have a new contract coming up and they do a lot of traveling. She's like, you should just apply and see what happens. So
Wow.
I applied, I got the job, and so now I'm doing the Army contracting job.
So you get to travel, you get to stay home some, you got the best of both worlds.
Yep, we do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
There was one point where I was actually gone for 3 months over in Europe, so it was pretty
No kidding.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
How'd you like it over there?
Oh, I love it.
They don't do much hunting over there, do they?
No.
But they fish.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to start with some pictures, just show you what I'm talking about. You know, when I say this girl does some outdoor stuff, we're going to get started on some pictures. So Whitney, tell us about this first one right here.
So this is actually where I learned what seasickness was. This is my first deep sea fishing trip that I went on, and I caught this blackfin tuna. It was a wonderful experience. Like, I loved it.
Yeah, blackfin tuna. Okay, where are you here?
This is actually, I went with my dad over to Cypress Springs, so he was actually doing some of the metal detecting over there, and so I just kind of went around and like snorkeled. I'm scuba certified, but this part I was just kind of snorkeling.
Okay.
This is my grandpa, so me and him, we live over in Deer Point.
Okay.
And so we just went brim fishing over there. There's a dock over there we like to go to, and these are just some
What a
of the.
classic picture, fishing with your grandpa.
Yep.
I love that. Okay.
And that's actually my sister and my dad.
Now, your sister like outdoors?
No, not really. She's a very artsy person. She's studying art over at FSU, but we dragged her out there for that.
Okay, tell her what you can do. When you catch a fish, you can paint a picture of you and the fish.
Yeah, she's a great drawer.
Okay, that's good. All right, this little collage right here. Top left-hand corner. What are you doing there?
Yep.
Skeet?
Yep, that's skeet shooting.
Good deal. And then top right-hand corner, sort of, what is that? Horseback?
Yep, we went horseback riding. That's my friend Kayla.
And bottom left-hand corner?
That is actually in New Jersey. Whenever I was up in Picatinny working, we were there for 2 weeks. So for the weekend, I went over to Split Rock and I went fishing over there.
All right, you like me, then when you travel, you want to find somewhere to go fishing.
Yes.
All right, bottom right-hand corner.
That's actually in Colorado. I went on a whitewater rafting trip over there, and so it was just like a beautiful view. We went hiking up some mountains, and I just had to get a picture.
Oh, that is cool. And this is the trip here,
Yeah,
huh?
this is the trip. It was
Wow.
a 2-day whitewater rafting trip. It was crazy. We actually got to go camp on an island in the middle of the river.
No kidding. 2-day trip.
Yes.
Wow.
It was a good upper body
You had a
workout.
lot of friends with you and all this?
Yep,
good
so
group?
this was all my friends. We went. It was so much
cool.
fun.
Okay, this is a duck hunt, right?
Yes.
Tell the folks what kind of duck these are.
Most of those are buffle heads.
Buffalo heads. They're fun to shoot.
Yep.
All right, what about this one?
All right, this is my first deer that I shot last year over in
Cool.
Bascom.
Where'd you shoot it?
Bascom, Florida.
Okay, yeah. Now,
Yep.
what'd you shoot it with?
270.
Okay, 270, good one. All right, here, you love archery, don't you?
Yes, this is like my newfound love. Like, I shot love at first shot. Literally is what it was.
I know. I've been watching some of the targets and all. There's your bow there, and
Yep.
okay, all
Love
right.
it.
And then backyard shooting.
Yep, and that's one of the great things about archery, because for rifle, you tend to need like a very big space. Archery, you can do it in your backyard. So you
Exactly.
can do it wherever.
Yeah, and you know, archery season coming up. That's why I wanted her to come on. Now, this is some pretty good shooting right here.
Thanks. This is actually my custom-made AR-15 that I have.
No kidding.
So me and my dad went to the Big County shooting range.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what one of my targets was.
That is cool.
And there it is.
Is
Yep.
that you at a shooting range? Or-
No, that's at one of my friend's house.
That's custom made, huh?
Yep.
How do you like it?
Oh, I love it. It's
Oh.
got like the wood stock, and it's beautiful.
Oh, that is a beautiful gun. Okay, and the last picture here. Let's see. Let's go to this one right here. That's
Yep.
your bow.
Yep, so that's my bow.
That's pretty good shooting right there.
Thanks.
And then one more with that fish right here.
Yep.
Let's see. All right. So this just shows what an all-around outdoor girl this young lady is. That's why I wanted to come on the show. We're always encouraging everyone to take advantage of the outdoors and just learn to use it. And this is something about it. She fished as a young girl and all, but she actually caught on to hunting after you were out of college and all.
About 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yep, so pretty new.
This is awesome. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and we're going to talk about the bow that she has with her. Okay. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with Miss Whitley Dylan, former Mosley High graduate, University of South Florida graduate, and a genuine outdoor woman. I call her. She's Whitney's outdoor woman. So it's WOW. That's your acronym. And she really does have a passion for the outdoors. I see it in her posts and all. And I'm just glad you're on the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you again.
I told her she might have to start her own outdoor show, as much stuff as she does. But let's talk about archery. Is just flat out enjoyable, isn't it?
It really is.
Well, what do you like about archery?
Like how I was telling you earlier, just the fact that it's so, I guess, diverse. Like you don't have to go to a large field in order to do it like you would for a rifle. I can just go out to my backyard off the porch even if I want to, and I can shoot a couple arrows before work, whenever I get done from work, and it really is, it's a great stress reliever just because it's the only thing you're thinking about is what you're aiming at.
So many of outdoor stuff is stress reliever. This is really good because you get to do something physical and get to see the results of it.
Yes.
And like I tell y'all when I was teaching, every year those seniors just loved archery. I mean, they'd never shot before, most of them hadn't. And so tell us about your bow. This is a nice bow. This is not a beginner bow, really. This is nice. Tell us briefly about it.
This is my bow. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Okay, yeah, we got it good.
Yeah. But it's the Hoyt Vixen, and I absolutely love it. I actually went over to McCoy's, and they got me set up over there.
Okay, all set up here, got your quiver and all. And
Yep.
How long have you been shooting this one?
I got this back in February.
Okay.
Yep, so I've been doing a lot of target practice. I try and get it out there at least 4 days out of the week. Right now I'm like doing a lot more often just because I'm trying to get prepared for hunting season.
Are you going to hunt here locally, or where do you think you'll be hunting?
I guess it really depends on where I get stationed at, or for the.
When you travel, you gonna take this with you?
I've been thinking about it,
Okay.
but I have a lease here in Panama City.
Okay.
So I'll be there most of the time.
When you set up your practice, tell us how you go out in the afternoon and practice. What you start out short distance, long distance, or how do you do it? How do you do your practice sessions?
Well, since I started back in February, I started off at like 10 yards, and I kind of like made sure to work on my form because that was something that's very important for archery, is getting your form down. So I started off at 10 yards, and I just started making my way back. And so right now I've been working on like 30, 40 yards.
You feel comfortable at that? 30 yards? Wow. 30, 40 yards is a long shot. And you can get a pretty good pattern.
Yep, and so for like your sight right here, I only have 3 pins.
Okay. Tell the folks what the pins are. I don't know if Jeff might get these. Jeff can probably get them in that right. Tell us about these color pins right there.
Yep, so right here, this is your sight. And so let's see.
Can you see it?
Yep,
Okay.
so like the top one, that would be, right now mine sit on 10 yards, but what a lot of people do is they use that first pin for 10 and 20 just because it's pretty close together. And so then the next one would be the 30 yards and then the 40 yards.
Okay, and you feel, what kind of release do you shoot?
Right here. It's just like your...
Yep. The release is always important in archery. You know, back in the old days when we learned how to shoot, we just use our fingers and all. But these releases over the years have really been developed, and you can see you just like a trigger, and it's really fascinating. So
Yep.
So it's a trigger like that. Go ahead and show the folks how it works, basically. So you
Yeah.
see
So
the
you would
trigger,
just grab on where the D loop is over here.
and just trigger release it. So
Yep. And just use your finger.
that is cool. That is a nice bow. Okay, now. Some other outdoor activities. Now, you say you like to duck hunt. All right, what about, are you ever doing a predator hunting yet? Have you got into that yet?
No, I haven't actually.
That would be fun, especially with a bow, because that's something you can do year round. Okay, now let's go back to, you're talking about duck hunting. You ever done any dove shoots yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So that was the next thing I did after a duck hunt. I went dove hunting.
How'd you like that?
It was fun.
It is fun. They're a little harder to hit, aren't they?
They are. At first, I know I had to have people tell me which one was a dove, and then I learned just look for the one that was continuously flying, because they just keep flapping, like they don't stop. So.
And again, that's the beauty of like I said, she started, didn't know a lot of this stuff. She just kept learned a lot of it on her own. She really did. That's what I admire about her. Like I say, somebody got to point out, well, that's a dove, and I can understand that because sometimes you got martins coming in and they look a lot alike and different things. So. I appreciate your honesty on that, because a lot of people wouldn't admit that, but that is so true.
No, I had no idea what I was doing at first.
So what's your goals now? We got a couple minutes left. You're still a young lady and all. You want continuing outdoors, obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
What if you had to list the top 3 loves of outdoors? Where would you start? Archery.
Archery, definitely. Archery. Duck hunting, and then probably dove hunting.
Dove hunting outdoors,
Yeah,
okay. Okay, now go to fishing. What kind of fishing do you enjoy? The top 3.
Ooh, that's hard. Trolling was pretty fun. That's where I got that amberjack that was in the picture. It was from trolling.
Trolling is fun.
And then like the brim fishing, because I do that with my family a lot, just because it's right down the road from our house.
Now later on, when you have a family and all, you think you ought to be doing much outdoor stuff?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'll make sure to show them.
See, that's the beauty of it. That's how we pass it down. It's heartwarming to see this. What about you? You did some camping and all? You enjoy camping? Are you a tent camper?
Yes, tent camping. That's what. Whenever we went to Colorado, we stayed in tents over on that island. It was pretty crazy.
What kind of advice would you give the viewers, especially our female viewers, a lot of them at all different ages? What would you tell them about the outdoors, about being involved in it, and how good it is?
It's definitely, it's worth getting into. Like, it's a great stress relief, and being able to see the outdoors and being able to learn not only about the outdoors, you learn a lot about yourself as well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Whitley, I just can't, all this stormy weather and all, you come up here, a big old smile and everything. We just put on the show, and I'm just tickled to see you doing all this.
Yeah, thank you.
And you got to promise me you're going to come back on soon.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad
between
to.
your travels. Now, where are you going next?
I'm actually going up to Pennsylvania next.
What part of Pennsylvania are you going into? Do you know?
Well, it's like Pennsylvania, Maryland. It's Fort Meade over there.
Fort Meade. And tell the folks what you'll be doing up there.
I'm going to be, I'm basically, it's like a teacher. I teach a class for the Army, and we teach, it's tracking hazardous materials. So I'll be up there for 2 weeks helping them out. And so the weekend, I'm definitely going to be getting out somewhere over there and trying to find something outdoors to do.
And Pennsylvania's a good outdoor state. That's where Jeff Peck now, he can tell you where to go. Our cameraman, director, now he'll give you some hints up there. So Pennsylvania's a cool state. You'll enjoy that. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll see you.
Thank you so much again.
Okay. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. I tell you what, before I'm going to let Whitney just go and draw. We're going to go and draw for our seafood winner. I'm going to let you do the drawing because they think they get mad if I don't draw their name. So I'm going to let them get mad at you. So pick out. This is going to be from Tarpon Dock Seafood. This would be a $20 gift certificate. Go
So just grab one?
Let's pick out one of them. Any one you want.
All right.
And that is Jelena Barnes, okay? Now we're going to do, the second one's going to be, for the winner of this, going to be a big red snapper. I'm going to tell you, run by Tarpon Dock this morning and get you some seafood. They got some great fresh seafood at Tarpon Dock. So let's draw one more name for the red snapper. And that's going to be, who is that? Bill Barfield, okay? Jelena Barnes and Bill Barfield are winners. So they're happy. Everybody else is mad at you now.
Sorry.
Okay, we're going to take a break, come back with our fishing forecast. Okay, welcome back to our famous Friday fishing forecast. Before we get started on that, I've got an email from one of our great sponsors, Lighting by Levon. They were planning to have a big sale this weekend. They postponed this sale for the weekend for next weekend. Now, if you want some good lighting and all, these folks are good. They know exactly what that they can help you with, and good outdoorsmen, good sponsors. I'm going to read it to you. It's going to be next. We've had delay it. Our no sale now will be Thursday and Friday this week. Next week, Tuesday through Friday of next week is going to be their sale. Lighting by Levon. They have a beach store and also up here at 231. They've really helped me a lot on lights. They can pick it out. They got great prices, good local people who are outdoors people, and just good folks. So don't forget that. Real quick, get into I'm going to start on the western end of our viewing area. First couple things, let's talk about freshwater. We'll talk about fly fishing and all, of course, that's sort of out of but here, keep this in mind now. By Sunday afternoon, by Monday especially, everybody's off Monday. A lot of that wind's going to be blowing stuff around. Just an outdoor key I learned a long time ago, and I saw my dad do it. A wasp nest had blown down in a slough, and the little larvae had actually floated out in the water, and the brim were eating it up. Now, you're going to have stuff blown down. Might be a hornet's nest or something, but anything like that that's blown down out, up in this river system and all, that's going to be feeding these brim and bass. So, if you can just look around for that. The river itself is going to have debris in it, so be careful of watching all of it. But any kind of situation where you can get back in the woods and see what kind of damage has been done as far as nature, and a lot of times nature will feed upon nature. So keep that in mind. I never will forget those brim eating the larvae of those wasps. Okay, now also on the river, and I said be careful of the debris. In saltwater, of course offshore is completely out of question, but inshore on the Choctawhatchee, I'm going to start on the western end. The further we go east, the more deterioration we will have as far as outdoor activities. But on the western part of Choctawhatchee now, you've got a situation where the wind has been blowing. It's been blowing out of the north coming in there. So on that northern shore, it could be pretty decent weather to fish. You can fish at bridges, fishing on that shoreline on the north. Again, just if you're in a small boat, be aware of what the wind conditions are doing. But I would look at bridge fishing. I wrote that down. Also, pond fishing. Ponds are the least affected by storms. They'll get some water, some rainwater in them and all, but as far as, motion and everything, pond fishing and small lakes should be in good shape. Again, they're going to be a little spooky, the fish will be, but as far as, Jeff and I were talking about surf fishing. Surf fishing will be decent, baby, by Sunday afternoon and Monday. It's going to be all churned up, especially on the eastern end, but up here on South Walton area, it's not going to be, once it gets churned up and all, it's going to be a little dirty and all, but fish, as soon as it settles down, they're going to be hungry. And, I talked about the grouper being blown up this way, and that, next week going to be some excellent fishing offshore, but it's too rough to go out now. In the Panama City area, again, out by the jetties and all, it's going to be pretty rough and all. But again, fishing off the State Park Pier should be decent. It's, okay, let's go on down here. State Park Pier will be pretty decent right in here. And Crooked Island Sound. Crooked Island Sound should be good fishing this weekend. Like I say, the wind has been coming from the situation from the north in this area right through here. So Crooked Island Sound will be good fishing. As like I say, it's going to deteriorate as we come on down here. The Cape is going to be pretty rough. The Stump Hole, all that area. The scalloping not going to be really good. Okay, it's going to be as simple as that. And then from here on out, from here on down to our viewing area, y'all know what, it's just not going to be good outdoor activities at all. So, this part of nature, part of the natural process to have these storms. A lot of times it sort of rejuvenates things and all. So be aware that it's not all bad news. The river system, again, it's according to how much rain they get north of us for the Apalachicola. Choctahatchee is not going to be affected all that much. We didn't have a lot of rain, so just be aware of these storms, what they can do in the outdoors. Like I say, the best fishing this weekend will be pond fishing and maybe getting up in some protected sloughs, okay? Going to start winding things down. Don't forget about that sale by Levon next week. Let me mention this too. You don't want to, if you're fishing like Mexico Beach now, should be pretty decent, but now you got to keep in mind, just because the wind's coming this way, the waves have been building up, so that's why it's going to be rough in the surf for a couple of days like that. So got to wrap it up. Thank you all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Hope you enjoyed Whitley on the show. We're going to have her come on some more. She's an outdoor girl. You have a good weekend, have a good, safe weekend. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.